Hey guys, it's Ling, and today I'll be comparing the iPhone 14 Plus and the 14 as well. Okay, so these two phones are actually released last year along with the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. Now, without further ado, let's get started with the video. Okay, so first of all, the iPhone 14 has 6.7 inches of the Super Retina XDR display, while the iPhone 14 has a 6.1 Super Retina XR display. The iPhone 14 is exactly the same thing as the one my dad's actually having, which is the iPhone 6s Plus. 6s. Well, for mine, it's similar to the iPhone 6s Plus. However, there's no home button for that. There's really like no Face ID button. Now, Apple actually does add like a lot of features. Now, there's actually a thing called the SOS and the crash detection. Now, whenever you're actually in like an accident or maybe like an aircraft collision, then the phone will actually automatically call the SOS thing for you. All right. Now, there's also another thing that I wanted to say. So there's actually the advanced dual camera system, which has 12 MP main and it's ultra true wide. It's also focused on the true depth front camera, and has a photo engine for incredible detail and color. Now the iPhone 14 Plus and the 14 is exactly adjacent. Just please take note that these two phones are actually the same, but it's the size difference because the iPhone 14 Plus is bigger than the iPhone 14. Now, there's another feature that has been added, such as action mode. Now, action mode actually smooths out shaky handheld videos, and has a 5G fast connectivity. The iPhone 14 Plus can play up to 26 hours, while the 14 plays up to 20 hours. It also has an A16 Bionic chip with a 6 CPU, 5 cores, GPU, and 16-core neutral engine. So the Bionic chip is actually the same as the one which is the iPhone 14. It also has Face ID as well, and it's also the same because it has 5X and 1X. Alright. Okay. Now there's actually a ceramic shield front, tougher than any smartphone glass. It has an aerospace grade aluminum and it's also water resistant for up to 30 minutes if you're 6 meters. It's also compatible with the MagSafe cases, wallets, and charges, and more. Okay, so it's exactly the same right here. It has 128 gigabyte, 256 gigabyte, and 512 gigabyte. It also has an HDR display, but the screen is actually more bigger than the iPhone 14. It also has a haptic touch. Haptic touch is the same, but the height is different. The width is also different, but the depth is the same. The weight is actually not the same. So it's actually rated for 68 IPs, and they're exactly the same. The chip is the same except for the Pro and Pro Max. The camera as well, it's also the same as well. They don't have like portraits, photographic styles, micro photography, and Apple Pro Roll. It only appeared in the Pro, so just to let you know, okay? It's also the same right here, except they don't have the Pro release, Macro Pro. They also have slow motion, time lapse. They also have night modes, the quick take video, sensor shift. They have the 2x zoom out, audio zoom, and stereo recording. As for the front camera, they actually have the same features, except they do not have the Pro wrist because you have to get the iPhone 14 Pro in order to do that. The safety is also the same as well. Mobile and wireless, they're also the same. Authentication as well, the Apple Pay, video calling, audio calling, video playback, and the audio playback. Power and battery is also different because up to 26 hours, 20 hours, up to 100 hours. Alright. And they have the LiDAR scanner. They don't have the LiDAR scanner because it's in the Pro. unfortunately. They also have a lightning as well. So I'm not much of a phone expert. I'm very sorry about this. So eventually the the iPhone 14 Plus has a bigger screen than the iPhone 14. It is exactly the same, alright? It's adjacent because of the screen, you know? It's adjacent because they have like two cameras right here, like that. Seriously adjacent to the iPhone 13 and the iPhone 13 mini. So you definitely do have the same features. It's just that they are different because of the video and the pixels one. They also have some sensors, and as well as this, they operate in the iOS 16 mode. They have some features as well, such as zoom, magnifier, RT and TTY support, the dictation, switch control, closed captions. They have assistive touch, spoken concept, and back tap as well. Alright, so they actually do have the wearing of the hearing aids as well, and there are some Apple ID because there's like required for some features as well, and you may need to use like Apple Pay if I'm not really mistaken, you know. Okay, so in the box, what you have is actually this phone with the iOS 16 update and the USB cable. Now, eventually you may be wondering about this. The first things first, they don't have the headphones because the headphones, they don't really fit anymore. So you may have to get the AirPods or maybe the headphones. Now, in my opinion, the AirPods are quite expensive because they cost like 629 ringgit or maybe an expensive rate. So yeah, I recommend to people. It's up to you if you want to buy it. You know, like you want to connect to your AirPods, listen to music, etc. Okay, but trust me, okay? The iPhone 14 is actually a big phone, and I really need to be very, very careful. Now, eventually, I've actually been comparing phones such as the iPhone 14 and the 14 Plus. Now, I'll just say that I actually got the iPhone 14 Plus 3 days ago, or maybe like 5 days ago, depending on which day the video is premiered, okay? Anyways guys, that's all for now I have to say about this video. If you like this video, don't forget about it, alright? You can watch one of my previous videos that I actually did for comparison, and